Good morning. Hand today is going to be pocket fives. In this hand, we are in early position. We're seven-handed. Get fives. I open raise. I get called in two spots. I get in the button and the big blind. I don't have a huge number of hands on either of these players. This player's probably calling with decent hands. He's getting a good price to call to see what he's going to flop. This guy looks just to be looser. Unfortunately, when we look at his stats, this is the first hand he's going to play from the button, so it's kind of tough to judge what kind of hands he's playing. So I just say pocket pairs. I'm going to assume queens plus ace king are raises. I'm going to do that for basically both. Queens plus ace queen are going to be raises. For both, I'm going to give him pocket pairs. I'm going to give him suited connectors, suited offsuit connectors, suited aces, broadways. I think that's about all we can do. I am going to give this guy a little bit wider range with gappers, maybe even two gappers. Since he's getting a discounted price, this guy will be a little bit tighter, so just slightly. Still, that's going to be the ranges that we go for. Flop comes out 3-4-6, which is decent for us. I mean, we have a gut shot. It's going to be hidden. I think when we look at strategy moving forward, if we think about what kind of hands would we be betting here, we'd be betting our trips, we'd be betting our good two pairs, which we don't really have a whole lot of. So we've got our sets, and then we've got some over pairs that we could be betting here. So just based on counts, we're looking at not really betting a whole lot, not really c-betting a whole lot, because if we c-bet like all of our flush draws, if we c-bet our open-enders, we're going to have a whole lot of cards. Well, probably we're going to be betting probably most of our over pairs are what we're going to be c-betting, along with our flush and our open-enders is what we're going to be targeting. I think that's going to probably represent a pretty decent balance. So if we just kind of take a look at it, if we do sets and overpair and do all of overpairs, we do our flush draw, we do our open-ender. So flush and open-ender gives us 15%. With our overpairs, we probably have too much here that we're betting. So I kind of think that maybe we're not going to be betting some of these other cards. I think 7's okay. I think we're still going to bet. But maybe 8s, 9s, 10s, and jacks, maybe something like that. That's going to get us a little bit more balance in terms of value versus bluff, but we didn't have that opportunity because villain leads. Now he started the hand, or at this point he's got 67 big blinds. We've got him covered, so he leads for not quite half pot here, and that's a bit unusual to say the least. This is the first time he's donking the flop, so what kind of hands lead here? I think your top pair type hands could lead, kind of gauge where he's at, and then I think his over pairs are probably going to lead too, just to see where he's at. I don't think sets or straights are going to be leading at all, so I think he's got a fairly narrow range with the top pair or over pair. We are drawing to, oops, wrong guy. Let's undo that. This guy, over pair and top pair. So you can see top pair, over pair. So 18% he donks, leads into us. It's on us. What do we do? In this case, I do think we are raising. I think we raise our over pairs, not all of them. I think queens plus aces, I think we're raising here. And then I think flush draw, open enders are probably raising too. Really apply pressure on him. So with my fives, kind of feel like we should raise. It kind of blocks out this player, and we're okay with doing that. If he comes along with a heart draw, he comes along with a heart draw. Hearts are definitely ones that we don't want to see. I don't mind taking it down immediately, but I think this is probably... I think this is what we want to do. Is there any calls? Yeah, I do think we are calling the rest of these pocket pairs. I think it's going to be hard for us to fold our top pair. Middle pair, we probably just fold. I think with 2-card backdoor flush draws, we are calling, like, I think 7-6 could call. 8-7 could call. You've got your aces, kings. I think those big cards we can call, just to kind of, it's a protection. Maybe all Broadway. So if any Broadway card comes, it's not a heart, we could bet. If it is a heart and he checks, and it's just the two of us, he checks, we could bet as a bluff with like 6 over cards. It's not. I don't think it's worth it just to like chase a bunch of just a bunch of cards. This isn't going to hit our range a huge amount, so I called. I think that's a mistake, and this guy calls, so I think if we raise, it puts a lot more pressure on this player here, and I think our raise would be up to 13, maybe 13 big blinds, 3 times his size. That would be about a half pot raise. So let's finish getting this going, getting this ready. So we already said we made a mistake. I don't think we have aces, kings, or queens anymore. I don't think we have the flush draw. Don't think we have the open ender anymore. So we're just looking at that kind of range, which makes us weak. Now this player calls. I kind of feel like straight's going to raise. I kind of think set's probably going to raise too. But I think over pair, top pair, maybe those 5, maybe in the middle pair. We're going to say flush draw, open ender is going to call. Yeah, we'll give him middle pair, like any pair that he calls, possibly even bottom pair. So we'll give him that range. Definitely, I think this guy is more likely to have a heart draw. 10 of hearts comes up there. See, if we had raised and gotten him to fold, if he calls, that's a card that we could bet if checked to. We don't connect with it in any way, but of all of the hands that we do have, we could easily represent it. I think some players will, assume that we were calling with our flush draw. We know we probably don't, but this is just pure bluff. If he calls, there's a good chance that he hit a set. So now he bets. He actually bets pretty small. So the question is, what is he betting small with? Is this I'm a scared bet, or is this I let out with a heart and connected with it? So I kind of feel like this is still going to be I think at this point, over pair or set. So jacks or 10s, quite possibly. That's gonna be my read. Where beat, we've got nothing. We should just fold, be done with it. We're really just, it's because of this guy. That's really what we're doing. So I think if we called, we've got these over pairs. We don't have the flush draw. We kind of screwed up initially by not raising. We're kind of hoping he wouldn't play. So, if we call, maybe jacks, if that. But if we have jacks, we kind of block, him from having jacks, which means I kind of think it's leaning more towards tens. Yeah, and the question is, would he continue betting with like nines or eights here? Would that be a suitable play for him? So you can say the pocket pair less than the top card, would those be suitable bets again? Maybe. And if they are, it's a massive massive number of combos here. So yeah, we're folding the open ender, but I think we're kind of drawing to open enders, and we give it away. Now he folds, so I still just don't like this. Don't like this at all. So getting back to this, what do we do? He bet. I think we're up against this player. I guess it would be hard for us to fold an overpair set. We're definitely going to be calling those. Top pairs, I do think we're going to probably have to call again. Well, I guess if we're going to be calling those, then we're going to probably need to call with some of these others. So I guess maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I guess top pair plus. We're just, again, the possibility that maybe he has one of these hands. And I think what we're going to do is just weight them. Put those down to 50%. If he bets again, I doubt he has these. And then this guy folds. I'm guessing he had one of these pairs, and he can't withstand the pressure at that point. So river's queen, he bets at this point. Do I get him to fold? I mean, he checks. Would he check a set? Yeah, I think he would check a set. He'd probably check the jacks. He'd probably check all of these now. What does he call? I think he's calling with sets and jacks, probably. I think he calls with those. So out of 100%, I think he's folding 50% of the time. If we bet, we're looking at, I think we can get value from all of these. We're probably betting all of these hands. Fives, the question is, I mean, yeah, we get 50% of his hands to fold, so I don't mind this bet here. I really don't. That's assuming that he's going to fold those hands. So I bet he calls. Let's see what hand he has. He has ace 10, so that was like way different. We didn't have that at all in his range. He was a lot weaker than what we expected, and he just got lucky and turned that 10. So we're going to have to take some notes here just so we can better understand how this player's playing, which is kind of crazy. So he calls EPs, I guess it'd be under the gun, 3 big blind, RFI after button call in big blind with ace 10 clubs. He is out of position and he bets. It was about 50%. It was maybe we'll do like 45%. At 45%, and then let's check our turn. That was less than a third. I don't know, maybe 30%. We'll say that. And then he check called 50% on. It's here, 6 of hearts, 4 spades, 3 hearts, 10 hearts, queen diamonds. All right, so we missed this donk. Really, it's that ace 10 throws us off. I do think we messed up. We should have raised. I think raising probably folds everyone out. Raising really does suggest top pair type hand. or overpair it anyways. And we need protection on those hands, so I think fives are going to be pretty good. Even though hearts are out there, I think fives are going to be good. Benefit is it protects, it really applies pressure to him, makes him harder to just call with any pair that he has, and it's going to give him some pause for the low or for the weak flush draws. So I messed up this hand. That's why we do these. We look at these. I think I would definitely try to play it a little bit differently. And I hope I would play it differently if this hand came up again. So hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another.